you want to play football, you must give me this in your academics. So already, because they want to do the football, it happens with my own sons. They'll give you what you want academically. And if they cannot attain it, mommy, this is the problem I'm having with math, with this, because they know football is tied to it. So a lot of times that is how it works for most parents. If sometimes when they're not doing well in school or they have a character issue in school, you tell the child you're not going for training for 2 weeks. You'll see how the child will correct him or herself without much ado, just because of the passion.
Welcome to Voices in Learning podcast. Let's explore what learning really sounds like. Today, we'll be talking about the power of sports in shaping young people's lives. Football is not just a game. It teaches resilience, teamwork, discipline, and leadership. We're excited to have the founder of Basel Club Football Academy with us today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Good morning, everyone.
Nisbukal Alabi is a founder and executive director of Kids Sports, an NGO dedicated to developing young people through sports and active recreation. With over 17 years of experience advocating for the social and economic well-being of young people in Nigeria, she's passionate about using sports as a tool for healthy development, education, and grooming responsible individuals. She holds a bachelor's degree from the University of Ilorin, Kwara State, and a certificate in early childhood education from Vanguard University, Southern California, USA.
So we would like to know, we would like you to tell us about your journey and why Basel Club Academy.
Okay, my journey has been well over a decade. It started as Kids Sports in 2009, but then I used to have just annual events, football events, and then 8 years ago, someone saw my 4-year-old son then and said, this boy can play football well, why doesn't he join an academy? And I used to stay on the mainland then, and this happened on the island. The person preferred an academy on the island. I was like, how will I be driving every Saturday to the island? So instead, I called a few of my friends who had boy children too, and then I said, are you interested? Let's get a coach, and then we'll just find a small place, and then the coach can start taking them. That's how Basel Football Club Academy started. And now 8 years old, we're over 100 children across the different age categories, and we're doing well.
So how has the journey been?
We're doing well, like I said, but it's not been easy, especially in this part of the world where a lot of things are limited. Resources, first of all, facilities. We don't have parks and fields around as you would have abroad so that the children can train easily. So there's so many football academies in Lagos fighting for these little spaces, and so the kids do not get as much time as they should ideally being in an academy, but then we're trying to manage it. Yes, but over the years, parents are getting to know the importance of sports and football. So you have parents accepting their kids more, saying, I want to be a footballer now than before. So yeah.
So people just see football as a sport. So how do you see it as a learning tool for children?
Only ignorant people nowadays see it just as just a sport. Like I said, over the last few years, I've had parents sign their kids up, even those that cannot play football, because of, first of all, the discipline it teaches the child. So a child, first of all, you have to get to training at a particular time. You have to train, do drills. So that discipline that it gives them, because they love the game, at the end of the day, they pass it on to other things, which is, first of all, their academics. So most of the time, a good footballer is very disciplined academically to students. They can transfer that discipline onto their academics and every other endeavor. But again, because they're children, you as a parent have to do a little pushing, like sometimes. Remember what you do in football, you can apply it 2 this, that. So it becomes easier for them because they already have that discipline. And then they are very resilient, like you already said in your introduction. So when you said that intro, I'm like, Miss Tosi already knows all about the games of football. So so it makes them resilient. They have coordination because you're using like every part of your body, and then again it's very beneficial to the health of a child.
In Lagos today, okay, let me just say, as a soccer mom, it's not easy. I mean, your child is interested in football, trying to keep up with practice, trying to be the best in the game, and there are other things the child is also growing, So what will you say to a parent, a new soccer mom, a parent that says, okay, my child is very good, is very interested in football, and the timing is not, I don't have all the time in the world to support him with this. What do you think what can you tell the parent that would inspire the parents to support, and how can, with limited time, how is a child able to get it right with soccer? Because I think it needs a lot of training, but we don't have that time, we don't have the space,
Okay, so even though we don't have the time and space, I'll take it from the last question. At the academy, we have children that have come out with testimonies even with the limited time. So we make do with what we have. What do I mean? We get at least 2 days a week to train the team together. Those 2 days, we make the best out of it. Then we encourage parents to get a coach to do personal training for the kids, because ideally you're supposed to get 3 to 4 times a week. So if we cannot get that together, you can get a coach, even in the house, do drills. Sometimes on the parents WhatsApp group, we send drills. The child can be at home. It's about knowing the ball, and the ball knows you. So get the ball, play against the wall. They always like to play football. So if you tell the child,
break everything in the house.
No. You tell them what to do. Like they already say it. The coach said you should do this. That's if you're not getting a coach. So already come and take 1 hour personal training. So again, it's consistency. If you do only those 3 every week, the child will go out and be great. So a few of our academic kids were at the World School Games. They all won awards for their schools.
Wow.
And great testimony for Dazzle FC. So it's about being consistent. Again, like I said, they're children. So there are sometimes with everything, you have to push them. But again, once it's a passion, you don't have to push much.
That passion leads to addiction, no? Even for grown people, as in for adults, the way people bet and all of that. As in football is a big deal. Yeah. So how do you think these kids can manage football with academics? Because for me, for instance, my son really loves football, and for him to get a personal coach, he needs to train early in the morning. And for me, training early in the morning is not the problem. But the fact that when you're done training, you go back to class. So you're sweaty. Who's going to be in charge of sweaty, BO, and all of that? So I don't know. The addiction to football is a big deal. And I also want him to focus on his primary assignment. So how can parents balance this love for football with the kids coming out in flying colors? Or does it mean if a child is good with football, a child comes down in academics, or the child will just be average?
No, so you'd have to, it's a conscious and intentional effort to make it work together. First of all, you'd have to draw a scale of preference. You want to play football, you must give me this in your academics. So already, because they want to do the football, it happens with my own sons. They'll give you what you want academically. And if they cannot attain it, Mommy, this is the problem I'm having with math, with this, because they know football is tied to it. So a lot of times, that is how it works for most parents. If sometimes when they're not doing well in school, or they have a character issue in school, you tell the child you're not going for training for 2 weeks. You'll see how the child will correct him or herself without much ado, just because of the passion. So it's about driving the passion right. And what you said about morning trainings, again, parents have to find a way around it at time. So if morning cannot work because of that, can evening work? Not writing out of the bedtime of the child. So you'd have to work, like I said, it's intentional. That one day out of 7 days, 1 hour, you can carve it out without affecting the child's academics. So you'd have to, okay, this is the scale of preference: academics, football, because football is also given a lot of scholarships, academic scholarships. So there's another graduate of Dazzle FC that got a scholarship to a school in the UK. They came here for university's fair and they used sports. Okay, they said, okay, we're having like 6 schools come compete in football, swimming. First of all, they had set it out that all of them have to be above average academically. And so if you have above average and you are good at these things, come out again. And out of those children, one was exceptional in football and he could swim. That's how we got an academic scholarship to a school in the UK, and he does football by the side because the school too is sports oriented. So again, the child has to know that academics is the baseline. No school or college will take somebody that is not academically sound. So the children all have to know that you're not doing football without academics. You cannot even run football, right? Okay, so education, academics always makes the athletes better. It's not even only in sports, even in music. We see the difference between an educated musician versus one that's not educated. It shows. So the same way with sports, it shows in their manner of play, in the way you have to sign contract now. So eventually if you get there, so education, we have to drive it, that it's really important. So also in Dazzle Football Academy, I have some scholarship kids. That's kids from the slums around the centers where we train that are talented in the game. So, but the caveat to having them is they must be in school. Just because I'm driving you must read. Because a lot of them can play football on the streets, but you have to go to school. So some have had issues of some like want to drop out of school in JSS3. Like if you drop out, you're leaving Dazzle. And so they stick to school and they play the football. At the end of the day, they thank me for it. So
aside education, what other qualities do you look out for in young
yes, morals, with morals. So you can use bad language, you can act disrespectful. That's all part of the game. So when we're doing training in Dazzle FC, if you talk at a coach or even a fellow teammate, there are times they'll ask you to go sit down because beyond the field is real life. So we teach that as we're teaching the game. So it's not just about playing well. So last week there was a tournament. A child, he scored the first goal, but after then he was rude. They sat him out for the remaining of the tournament, remaining games of the tournament. No matter how good you are, we'd rather lose than have you playing that good attitude. So also professional football, I use Balotelli as an example. Is a very good player in my point of view, extremely good, but he didn't get as far as he could have gotten because he has such a silly attitude. It can be a nuisance, rude and all that, and referees can deal with that, coaches can deal with that. So people go, Messi is this, Messi is that. A lot of humility for Messi, we see that. So you need to be respectful, good morals, and I don't hide the fact that I'm a Christian, God first, because you can try all you can if there's no God factor.
There
are people, I tell some of the players that there are people who aren't as good as you that have gotten the opportunity to go and be scouted abroad. Why? So I'm an African.
African mom.
Actually, so some are just favored too. So you need to keep praying, keep playing. Like I tell them, it's our slogan: we pray like we don't play, and we play like we don't pray. So play well, pray well.
Welcome to Voices in Learning podcast. Voices in Learning podcast is powered by My Education. So what are the things we do at My Education? So at My Education, we recruit teachers for school owners, for schools, for educational organizations, for families, and every other person that needs a teacher. We have an online platform where we have online classes for people abroad and people in Nigeria. We also recruit governesses called Living Teacher for parents who want education outside the classroom in their homes. We also do trainings for support staff in schools, in organizations, and also for families. So contact us today at My Education on our social media platforms or via WhatsApp. You can also call us on this number below. So what happens if you have a new student in your academy, and then so how do you train a new student knowing that you have lots of people that have been on the team before? So at what point do you push the new student, and at what point does the student start going for competitions?
So initially what we do is we let the child see and play and enjoy that. Okay, you can get here. Just let the child feel at home.
Okay.
Then after a few weeks, we start teaching the basics. We have like team A, B, and C. So just like class, you grow into, like if you're in C because you joined first, learning things, we push you. Do you want to go to B so that you can have more games? Because team B doesn't go for some league games. They can play friendly, but they don't go for league games. Do you want to go for league games? You need to try to work better. So it works like a school. We see the child's level, because some children join and they are quite good. They are in team B already. Some join and they don't know the basics. They start from team C. But first of all, we make them just feel family. Whether you just join, you play with the team, and then you yourself know, I'm not up to it yet. Like I've had children that come and like, my leg didn't even touch the ball once. So they know that, okay, I have to work for it. And the same child that said my leg didn't touch the ball once is the one now that is not even passing to a new child. So how do you manage that? Because for someone like my son, whenever he touches the ball like this, he doesn't want to release the ball. So how do you manage? It's part of the learning. It's part of the learning. So with time, they know to pass. So like in the case of your son, he's pretty young. So for young children like that, the aim is to let them know how to move the ball and let them get used to moving the ball. So coaches have to keep shouting at the sideline when they're playing a game, pass for those kind of children. But when they are like 10, at this point you should know position in small. But for 6-7-year-olds, it's still okay. Just let the child be able to run with the ball, pass the ball, not like the ball is running away from him. So that's what so different age categories and what they need to know and attain. So yeah.
So when you're talking to your students, please, I want to shake this table. Who are their role models in Nigeria that they are looking up to?
Victor Osimhen.
Number one.
This generation, that's all they know. So I took my son out to one Nigerian celebrities versus footballers, ex-footballers match. He barely knew any one of those old people. I was the one telling him, that's Mutu Adepoju. Like, everybody may see Ronaldo. What did he play? I said he played for Nigeria. He said, if you hear it, I was telling history. Like, oh, okay. So now maybe they know Wambali because it's a good goalkeeper. Well, he saved us. Okay. A few of the matches. What else do they know on the Nigerians? It's hard to tell now. If the person is not playing for Barcelona or one big club, they really don't know them yet. What do they talk about in Nigeria apart from football? I'm even trying to remember now, so it's a struggle.
So we struggle. So football in Nigeria. So we don't even have role models for these children in terms of the football world.
We trust this. Yes.
Okay.
There are a few, not at all, but there are a few. There are a few. It's Osimhen. Oh yeah. My son knew what's this guy? Victor Boniface. Yeah.
So he plays well for Nigeria.
Well, he's injured now, but he plays well.
So when it comes to this injury thing, so this is another is a big problem. It's a prayer point that you love football, you want to start a career in football, so you want to practice, you have to eat well, you have to, because my son had to lose some weight for football. Yes, because he wants to be able to run on the field. So at the end of the day, what comes up with injury? How do they manage injury? How do they manage loss?
Okay,
when you lose to a team, how do they manage that also?
The younger they are, the more difficult it is to help them manage it. But as they grow, you lose some, you win some. Then you just have to keep giving these examples that even see Ronaldo misses penalty, then you see the child chill. So you use those so-called big role models and mentors to show them that those ones too make mistakes. Mistakes are inevitable. It's to learn from it and pick it up. My younger son is a goalkeeper, and they score him. But it wasn't my first. See, even Coutinho, who's your best role model? They scored him useless goal before. In fact, they score those very good goalkeepers useless goals more than they score them. If you see the balls they save, you'll be like, so how did he not save this one? So you just have to tell them this is life, and that's the truth. That's life. In this life, you win some, you lose some. It's about taking yourself up from that loss and picking up. It's not going to happen again. If it happens again, okay, we fall again, we try again, we pick up again. And we keep giving these examples of this, like I said, Messi and Ronaldo, who are the two big names. Those people failed and failed and failed. Failed and failed, but see where they are today. Consistency. Do you know how many times Messi practiced his free kick that today he just takes it like once as if he closes his eyes? And so when you keep telling them that, and before you even tell them, because they like them, most of them tell you the answers. They've read so much about these people, they know them. So for me, for now, that's all I do, and it makes a difference. Like, do you know? Oh, then they chill, yeah. So for the younger ones, so you just start like that. So try it again, let's do it again. Next match, just shoot like this, don't do that. So that's how you deal with loss. Just let them know.
About injuries, because if you get injured and they don't get to play football.
Okay, so for the younger ones, that's why we always say play safe. You don't want to get an everlasting injury at this young age. So you go, like the coaches tell them, do you really want to play football? Yes. Then you don't need to break a leg yet. So they play carefully. If not, you'll be seeing side tackles as well. So playing safe is what we encourage in the academic for now.
But all these side tackles, because I hear that a lot, all these side tackle, all these side tackles, what if you've taught your students that, okay, side tackling, there's the way to go about it and all of that. But people are rugged. The eyes on the prize. So what if people coming in, they're there to, I just want to win the prize, I just want to win this. So how do they manage that? Is it that they run, because they also don't want to run away from the ball, they want to be able to compete with whoever it is. So with that, how are we able to let them understand how to play safe?
Okay, so for the younger categories, wherever we're playing, before we play, we call the coaches together.
Okay.
These children are young. No slight tackling. No, this, because I've seen situations that happened this one wasn't even football academy, it was break time in a school. Tackle, the other one fell down and concussion, went unconscious. Thank God the boy came back. So you have to tell the coaches, you tell them, these are children, we're not playing for World Cup. So you need to tell any child that does be red carded or yellow carded. That's how we deal with it now. So for every game we go with the younger ones, tell your children it's not do or die. They are developing. They're just trying to learn,
and they need to enjoy it. There shouldn't be any form of fear that I don't want to get injured and all of that.
You understand? So, but for the older ones, we've taught stand strong. But if you see that this one is going to cause you an injury, like again, I make reference to my son, the keeper. If you see that this save is going to cause you to break your head, leave it. Let it be a goal. So if you see a tackle coming that the person is not, just jump, avoid it, let it go. Than for you to now, because you wanted to, then.
Because there are more balls to save.
Yeah, do you understand? So that's what we tell the older ones. Yeah.
Okay, another thing I want to talk about is food. Food for footballers. I mean, they need strength. On the other hand, they shouldn't be overweight. So if you want to talk to our viewers now, you want to encourage the kids on, if you want to talk to them about the type of food to eat as a footballer, as an upcoming footballer, what type of food will you?
Okay, so on a match day, before a match first, it's always advisable to not give heavy food, just bananas. That's enough energy for you to go. Then it's just like the normal meal plan that a dietitian will tell you. Fruits, vegetables, some energy starch, but not too much in excess, not 10 slices of bread. Like my own son will want to take that because it needs energy. 10 slices of bread, but no. Portion it's just about eating right, but eating well. But before a game, bananas are very important. Even before training, it's energy, not it's fruit. So yeah. We have a whole meal plan actually with type of food that we share with parents.
Okay, I think we need that meal plan because we don't have that meal plan. We need that meal plan. So I have questions written here for you, just a few questions. I'm sure we talked about some of these questions.
Questions written here from, they come from abroad.
Yes, from all over the world.
I know voices in the international show.
Yes,
to all the American folks.
What is your long-term vision for Bezel Club Football Academy?
To have some children go pro in football. Those that don't go pro should have this football, earn them educational scholarships, earn them good networking to get jobs somewhere. I know that person, we were in the same Dazzle FC, and then get a job in the tech company, blah blah. So extensively go pro for those ones that can in football, get educational scholarships and make good networks, because again, part of why I do it is when they do football, you keep them away from the internet, which there are a lot of vices on. So if you are pulling them away from vices, what are you giving to them? So what have I taken from this football apart from network? And then network, okay, I know that boy is a good boy. He's not one that's into vices too, because we're in the same. So those three things is what I try to achieve.
So in terms of infrastructure, are you trying to start, because I believe so many football academies will come after Dazzle Club and they will look at you and say, oh, this person has done well, she's put things in place that has helped we upcoming academy owners. So, and how do you think you can support in terms of maybe getting your own sports centers?
Eventually, that's the extensive plan, but Lagos is saturated, so it's looking like the sports center, the big one, will be somewhere in the outskirts, like at there.
Wow, who wants to drive to Ekpe from?
Yeah, so but we'll still need these inside Lagos ones to, yes. So we'll have infrastructure, the big one like a sports school for people that just want to do strictly football. Again, like I said, the scholarship kids that their parents cannot afford, but you need them to school. So there'll be like some kind of schooling education there, but there'll be a football field and sports school at the end of the day. But we're also trying to talk to the government to, they have some facilities that they have left. If we can find investors to build up on that, then would have those
Sports
infrastructure.
centers.
Yes, sports centers that we can use and other sports grassroots sports academies can use. So again, I said I started off as kids sports. So kids sports and Dazzle FC, they're two different bodies, but kids sports is like the non-profit organization. So kids sport part of it, we support other grassroots academies.
Oh, okay.
So like we have 3 we support at the moment, one in Ikorodu, one in Lagos Island, and one in the Mushin area. So what we do is we give them balls, we give them jerseys. If we find an exceptional player in these teams, if we see any tournament, we bring the player, and who knows, might get scouted from there. So that is what we do for those other ones that want to do what we do, want their parents to, their
parents
to be expected to do have opportunity. So that's our own way of also giving back, even though we do.
So in your own experience, what will you say, how has it been with schools, institutions? How have they helped you in terms of supporting with their infrastructure?
Oh yes, they have. They've been very supportive. Well, the two we use.
Okay.
We use 2 schools. The school administrators know the importance of sports and football, so they've been extremely supportive. They give us their space, not for free though, but discounted amounts, which is very good because I understand they have to keep their property safe and maintained. So yeah, but they're very supportive, and a number of children from these schools also attend the academy. They encourage the children to attend, and again, at the end of the day, it pays off for their school because their schools win competitions in football, and at the end of the day, they say, "Oh, why these children playing like they have chemistry?" Because most, like 70% of them attend the same football academy, so they understand the manner of play. And one of them is under 11 team for. Can I call the name of the school?
Yes.
For Riverbank School. They won the under 11 football champions for the World School Games in February. So 70% of the team was Dazzle. So it was big testimonial for us. Highest goal scorer, best goalkeeper.
Wow.
So yeah.
Dazzle. We are going there. We are there already.
Yeah.
So how do you see youth football developments evolving in Nigeria?
Slow and steady. We will get there. I don't want to say much. There's a lot of politics around these things, which is what is holding us back. But we keep pushing.
Okay, what opportunities do you hope to create for the next generation of players? I think you've answered it right. How can parents and communities support young athletes?
Encourage them, give them time, make time for them, support them by being with them when you can, attend their games, see their games. I'll just talk to them. How is football going? How is your sports going? How is it? Okay, can I come and watch training today? That goes a long way for children when parents, they know that their parents are their biggest cheerleaders.
Okay, so what advice can you give a parent with a child that loves football in terms of managing to be a champion in football and also a star student?
I think
what can you also tell, because I believe a parent watching this episode would also have, I would watch this episode with my son that loves football, so then 1 or 2. So parents and a child watching this episode, what are you going to say to the parent and what are you going to say to the child?
Okay, the parents will be, I think I said it before, you have to create time. I won't say it's easy, but you have to be intentional to create time, knowing where you want this child to reach in sports. If you see that the child has the talent and has the passion, please do not deprive the child because you don't have the time. Make time and help the child. Talk to the coaches too. How can I help the child? How can you help me? Just like you talk to the class teacher. Okay, my son, I want him or her to have A's. we go back to talk to the teacher, have open days, the same way we do academics. Let's put it in the sports of the child. I don't want to say football only though, because some parents even have children that are good in football, swimming, and athletics at the same time. How should they manage it? Time and how you manage it is everything. So it's intentional. When you have more than one child that has two different talents, I cannot tell parents that, okay, do this, because I don't know the peculiarity of their own situation. But whatever the peculiarity is, you need to be intentional to create time. Lagos already is busy with traffic, but you need to. That's why the intentionality comes in, knowing the end point. This is where I want to reach. How are we going to achieve it? So, yeah, that's for the parents.
So for the students,
for the child, you need to be consistent. You need to be it's only consistency that wins it. So if you have a talent and a passion but no consistency, you will make it. Like I said, I always give examples of Ronaldo and Messi. They said they always say that if they call training for 6 a.m., then for Ronaldo, he'll be there at 4 a.m. doing personal practice. So how far you want to go to is how consistent you should be. It will be hard sometimes. Some drills and nothing even comes easy at first. But by the time you keep doing it, it becomes easy. You move to the next high stage. You move. Don't stay, okay, now I know how to do free kicks well. And that's where you say, no, there are many other people coming and it's a big competition. So if you want to play for Barcelona, they only need 11 players on the field and how many subs? Meanwhile, there are over how many million footballers around the world that are trying to get into that one team. So when you think about that there's so many of us fighting to be here, then you know what to do. Consistent training and developing yourself.
What about with the academics? How to balance it with the academics?
Oh yeah, like I said, first of all, academics is the bedrock. It's the bedrock. I need to be in school. And not just be in school, do well at school to be able to play football. So the same passion you're giving to football, give even a little more to your academics, because you're going to need it to do well in football.
Okay, so this is our last, this is not a question. What message would you like to share with young people who dream of becoming professional footballers?
Okay. The message I would like to share is a painful truth that even though we dream of it, not all of us will become professional footballers. So you should always have a plan B. Do your football, go to school, learn a trade, do tech, do something else. Can I speak Yoruba?
Yes.
That's the truth.
Meaning English.
Meaning one road doesn't lead into the market. You need, even forget football, forget sports. Even when you're trying to be an engineer, you should, the way this day and age is, you can't be facing one direction. You need to add other things. So one of my sons does music, he does sports. I'm telling him, look at the next 5 years, you need to look at the trend. It seems like AI is putting people out of job. How can you apply this to what your passion is? So they need to be able to, yes, I want to do this, but what is, in 5 years' time, what is going to be relevant and useful, and how can I apply to this? Because like we spoke about injury, what if I even get injured before I go pro? Then what happens? So as you're doing football, do other things.
Thank you for this information.
Do other virtuous things, not Yahoo.
Thank you for joining us on Voices in Learning. I would love to know what stood out for you. Connect with me, share your thoughts, and let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, let's keep exploring what learning really sounds like. Thank you.